What's up? It's me, Major Fraser, and today I'm gonna be your train daddy because it's time for another episode of Albatross Express. That's right, chugga chugga, get on board. We're going to Eastshade. Eastshade? What in Sam Hooey is an Eastshade? Well, I'll tell you, kids. Eastshade is a game available on the Xbox Game Pass, which is what we review here on Albatross Express. This game is put together by Eastshade Studios, and Eastshade is an open-world adventure simulator, which is to say there isn't a lot of gameplay in Eastshade. In gameplay in like the conceptual sense, game in quotes, there's like nothing to do aside from walking around, taking photos, and collecting different things. Basically a chore simulator. It's like Skyrim. If instead of having fun like you do in Skyrim, you do chores. I guess more accurately, it's like if Pokemon Snap was set in the Skyrim universe. Not a lot to do, cool scenes, cool things to see. And instead of Pokemon, it's a bunch of bipedal humanoids that refuse to look you in the eye. Alright, so you're probably wondering at this point, what's the gameplay? You played this for 2 hours, Fraser. What do you do? Well, according to the press kit online, which I had to go to see what the gameplay technically is, they say that this is a game of micro-stories, narratives that are stitched between a vibrant open-world landscape. And in the first city, which is all I really cared to get through, yeah, these are some pretty intense narratives. From the get-go, the very first story, like outside of the tutorial, the first one you can mess up, is pointed, to say the least. I'm gonna just walk you through it. So here you go. This is the setup for the first micro story.
He's just such a peculiar man. And you know what? I think Lenny is going to have some real issues when he grows up. Well, you've seen him. The boy is unhinged. And not just that. I've been hearing a lot of yelling coming from that house. You know, I imagine you'll be traveling all around this island, being a tourist and all. Perhaps when you get to Narva, you should let the sheriff know about Isan. I think it's only right, you know, for Lenny. Well, it's a small town. If word ever got back to Isan that I was the one that reported him, things might be a little awkward, being such a close neighbor and all. I think it'd be best for the child. I only have his best interest at heart. Isan is not a stable man, and wholly unsuitable to be a parent. Right, well, here's some soap. Safe travels.
So as this is playing out, I am shocked by the tone that this game has suddenly taken. And also I'm disappointed by the choices that I'm given. I want to tell Karen to go suck on a shoe. But that's not even close to one of the options that I have. And in such a narrative-driven story, if you're not going to give me the option to be like, yo, what you're saying is messed up, when what she's saying is arguably messed up, I don't like that. It feels like at that point you're not telling a story, but you're forcing a narrative. And as... I don't know if you know this, folks, but I went to school for 2 years for theater, and I know a thing or two about telling stories. So... let's keep going. So... I figured the next best thing, if I couldn't tell Amin to, eat it, George Bush style, then I would tell the dad that Amin's being a right rude Rudolph.
Well, you are a nosy tourist, aren't you? Beeswax. Amin? That nosy, stuck-up, goody two-talon... if you had to deal with what I have to deal with... She just doesn't like me because I'm not posh like her. This whole town is stuck up. Them and all their judging eye. You know what? Get out of my house. You're just like everyone else in this town. Coming in here and telling me I'm a bad father? Get out. I know that's what you meant. Just get out. Get out! Get out! Get out!
And immediately after you come through from this punch, you wake up to a frickin' bear in your face. And even worse, the bear's a frickin' cop. And the cop chewed me out because I wasn't going to narc on the dad because I did ask for it in that situation. I may have provoked him. And immediately after the cop told me don't go back around him, I bugged him a little more. But I just wanted to see if he would get mad again.
Did you? Listen, I think I know what's going on here. As an official, I'm obliged to tell you, in the future, in situations like these, never confront the parent, ever. It's most likely they will deny and defend, and no good can come of that. If you suspect something, report it. Don't take it into your own hands. You stay clear of Isan now, and he'll stay clear of you. I'll be on my way now.
I have nothing to say to you. Just get out. I have nothing to say to you. Just get. I have nothing to say to you. Just get. I have nothing to say to you. Just get out.
But like this whole thing is pretty heady stuff. And up until this point, I had been thinking, who is this game for? What's its target audience? And honestly, it would have been a fun game to play with like your children as like an introductory video game. I wouldn't have my kids around this. I'm concerned about where the narrative is going to go in the future, as seeing how forced it already is in the very first beginnings of the game. And B, I just don't like the game. So it's got an Albatross Express score of 2 for me, which if you look at the ranking list, which I have right here, 2 is functional game, but it's just not for me. All in all, this is like Seinfeld. It is a video game about nothing, which may work for some. And in fact, this game is so extremely casual, as in there is no gameplay. If you're looking for something to do that is just mindless adventure, you should come and check out the beautiful world that is Eastshade. It really is something that is cool to walk around in. You could tell that there is a lot of care put into the world. There's a lot of lore put into it already. I don't know if it's a game that's actively being worked on, but maybe when they add some gameplay, I think something very easy to do would be to make a challenge or like some sort of mini game and how well your paintings turn out. Just give a quality score, and then when you sell them, you get like bits based on that. But I think the way the game is structured is you have to get X number of bits before you can move on to the next area. So if you got paintings valued at less, you wouldn't be able to move on to the next area. All in all, that seems like an incomplete game to me, or a very, very structured open world game. So it kind of misses a couple of those marks. Easy things to fix though. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not a video game designer, I'm a video game digester. And if you are hearing this, that means I've run out of things to say, and it's time to end the video. That's basically the sound of a train whistle. Whoa! That is the sound of a train whistle. Thank you so much for watching, folks. My name is Major Frazier, codenamed Albatross, real name AJ. I'm so grateful that you watched this. Please consider subscribing to us here. Check out the description below. Follow us on Twitter, Twitch. We really appreciate it. And, well, until next time. All aboard and welcome to... No, I can't.